San Diego Comic-Con has come to an end. And that was the reason why, guys, you haven't seen me upload a lot of stuff, was because I was watching all the news that was coming out. And we got a lot of news. Some good, big surprises, but all around a good con. One of the pack members was at the con this year. Galactus girl, she was there. One of the pack, she had a good time, and I'm glad she did. Still on my bucket list to get to, guys. But it's not about me going to San Diego Comic-Con. This is about the news that was coming out. And I thought what I start off with is pretty much all the comic news that has been coming out of the woodwork. And there's been a lot of good comic news that came out of San Diego Comic-Con. Some from Marvel, some from DC, and also independent. And I'm here to talk about it. I'm going to give my thoughts on all of it. So let's kick it off, right? We're going to kick this off with DC. And the biggest thing that's been coming out of what came out of DC is the Absolute Universe. The new universe that is going to be starting up in DC. Basically, they're equivalent to the Ultimate Universe. I don't mind it. I don't care. I don't care if they say, oh, people saying that they're copying Marvel. Imitation is a form of flattery. These two companies have been copying each other for years. Get over it. But this Absolute Universe is starting to pick up, and it's starting to get a little shot in the arm right now, because this is going to be a lot different than what we've seen with a lot of the heroes that are from their original Prime Earth in DC. It was announced that there are 2 more Absolute books that are coming. I'll get to those right now. But they give more explanation into what the Trinity books are going to be. Absolute Batman, Absolute Superman, and Absolute Wonder Woman. So the coolest thing is reading up on and listening to what they said. Scott Snyder will be doing Absolute Batman. And he talks about what really makes this one stand out a little bit is a lot of things. So first of all, Mr. Snyder says basically the nickname for this Batman is called the Batman Who Lifts. Yeah, if you've seen the picture, and I'm probably showing the picture on the side, this looks like the most jacked up Batman I've ever seen. And you can say, oh, well, Dark Knight Batman. No, he was just old. Yeah, that was more old than anything. This looks like a Batman that is a power lifter and just is jacked. He goes on to say that this will be a Bruce Wayne that is in his 20s. And Mr. Snyder says he's clocked at 6 feet. So he's 6 foot tall. But with the bat suit on, he grows an extra foot. So he's 7 feet tall. What the hell? So a 7 foot tall Batman now. He weighs over 250 pounds. Yeah. They said, once again, this is a working class Batman. So no money, no foundation, no all that to back him up. So he goes on to say this version will be an engineer and a construction worker. So working class. And we'll also have a French bulldog with bat ears. I find that funny. He goes on also to talk about Alfred in this universe. Alfred was never a butler in this, but he is an MI6 agent, and he travels to Gotham because he's on target for somebody. And they also talk about some of the characters. They showed like a picture of Black Mask, and he looks very much like something out of Metal Gear, definitely. So that's going to be interesting. So Batman already has me a little interested. Batman has me interested. I'm like, okay, how's that gonna work with a big Batman? I see some people say they don't like the symbol, you know, the bat symbol. It don't look like a bat, but it just this is fun. In this universe, the creators have more creative freedom and control what they want to put, so I like that. They explain a little bit more about Absolute Wonder Woman, and this actually caught me off guard, but it actually makes a little bit more sense when I looked at when you're looking at the image of her, and I'm like, okay. So what they say basically is there's going to be a difference with her. So instead of Diana being raised on Themyscira, she was raised in the underworld. So she was raised in the underworld. So hence the reason why you see like she's riding a black Pegasus and things like that. So that's interesting. And you could see I guess the tattoos. I think that's Heka, Heka on her symbol. So that's going to be interesting. So she basically was raised in the underworld. So that's a bit interesting. And as you all know, that's going to be Kelly Thompson is going to be writing Absolute Wonder Woman. Absolute Superman is also going to play a little different. Jason Aaron is writing that, and he reveals that he is going to try to imagine Superman as he was, but you know, more modern day. So the only detail that he confirmed is that Krypton would explode. But outside of that, he's really hush hush about what's going to be different. As we can see, the costume looks a little different, and the hair looks a little different, but we don't know everything about it. I guess Aaron wants to keep Superman very shh, and that's fine. They also announced one of two of the new Absolute titles will be Absolute Flash. I know another pack member is very happy about this, so I hope he's watching. Sean X, Comic Freak X, I hope you're watching this. It was revealed that the fourth will be Absolute Flash, and Jeff Lemire is going to be writing that, along with Nick Robles as the artwork. There's really no detail of who is going to be the Flash in this universe. The hair looks red, so it may be Wally, but that's about it. And then of course they announced also Absolute Green Lantern, which is also going to get a series, and Al Ewing is going to be writing that. And what has been confirmed is that it's going to have Hal, John, and Joe Sojourner, and I'm like, no Kyle. Fuck. That's it. So that was all in terms of that. And then of course, and speaking of Jeff Lemire is coming back. He's going to be also taking over writing one of my favorite teams in DC, the JSA. The JSA will be coming back. Jeff Lemire it'll be kind of a big lineup. It'll have the team of the JSA members teaming up with Infinity Inc. And comes out in November. I love JSA, so it's going to be really cool to see what they do with it. But I am definitely looking forward to reading it. I am a fan of Jeff Lemire's writing. I have a lot of work that I enjoyed him in, but this is going to be a very, very, very different in a sense. But it's going to be Jeff Lemire with the new JSA series teams. So it would seem that the Justice League is going to return. Titans only got 2 years or 2 events to hold down as the main legit team. We all knew the Justice League was coming back. So, but who is going to be writing this new Justice League, and who is going to be, what is the lineup going to be? So, who's writing? The man himself, Mark Waid. Mark Waid is writing this series. I am happy as can be, and he's teaming up once again with Dan Mora. I love their work. I love them. They're teaming up, you know, since they've been working in Batman, Superman, World's Finest. They worked together in Captain Marvel. So I'm looking forward to seeing them together again. And they also show, so the Justice League, the book is called Justice League Unlimited, and it's going to be written by Mark Waid. And the lineup is very interesting because you got the Trinity, which I knew they were going to have. So you got Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. You have Black Lightning. Thank you, Mr. Waid. Thank you. I wonder, did you call for that? Black Lightning. You got Captain Atom. I'm glad to see he's doing something instead of just blowing up. You got the Flash. We don't know which Flash that is. We got the Atom, and then of course we got Star Sapphire. That's the wild card right there. That's the one that really had me like, wait, whoa, why is she there? You know, why is the Spectrum of Love there? Okay, fine, I get it. And no Green Lantern. And I think the reason why is because DC is really gonna flip the script on the Green Lantern universe. But that's just one. And then you see another poster. Martian Manhunter is with them, so it makes me wonder, okay, is he on the team or not? Because the picture that I'm showing has an 8-person team, and I was so happy when I saw that because it's an even number team. And you guys know how I feel about odd number teams. I don't even need to go there, but I do. But I'm glad to see that, you know, the lineup. I'm glad to see Mr. Waid is writing it. It's all good. It's all good. And outside of that, another thing I want to give a shout out to is give a shout out to Tom Taylor. He and his team who worked on Nightwing has won a Will Eisner Award. So I'm very proud. I'm very happy. Well deserved. It was a great series, and it's going to be hard to top the next writer that comes over. But I'm very happy for Tom Taylor and the team. But yeah, that's all the DC news and comic news that I wanted to talk about. We move on to Marvel, and there were a couple of things with Marvel that they announced. The first one that I wanted to talk about is they're bringing back the West Coast Avengers. West Coast Avengers is coming back. I was always a fan of the West Coast Avengers, and even when they became Force Works and all that stuff. But this is interesting. So Jerry Dugan is going to be writing it, along with Danny Kim is going to be the artwork. And pretty much we're going to see Tony and Rhodey bringing together a new team, which includes, get this, Ultron. That's right. If you could see that, Ultron is on the team. And that right there is crazy. Ultron is on the team along with Spider-Woman and Firestar. So they are continuing to do what I thought they may do, having other mutants be in other books. I wish this was an even number team, but I'm hoping it is. But outside of that, it does make me wonder, okay, is this the current, is this a current Ultron or an Ultron from the past or whatever? Because he's a killer, so it is very interesting to see. West Coast Avengers #1 comes out this November, so that's going to be really interesting to see. And Jeff Lemire gets to continue to write, Jerry Dugan gets to continue to write Iron Man, so cool. The other event, there's an event coming out in 2025 called One World Under Doom. And so pretty much this looks like an event that's going to have the whole universe under Victor Von Doom. Like, he is ruling, and that's scary because it's Doom. The cover of it looks really cool. You see Doom, as you can see, Doom, he's like, I have the power, and all the Marvel heroes are just bowing to him. So that's really scary and interesting. You're kind of going to see this kind of start in Blood Hunt. I'm not reading Blood Hunt until the trade, so yeah, I'm interested in that as well. So they also announced a few titles under the X-Men. That didn't caught my eye because it's two characters that I do like. They're two female characters, and in November of this year, Psylocke is getting her own series. Psylocke. Now, for anybody who has been keeping up in the comics, remember there are two Psylocke. Betsy went on to become Captain Britain again, and well, she's now on X-Force, and the Psylocke that is on the X-Men now is Kawana, the same Kawana who had the body before. So yeah, it's going to be written by Ashley Wong, Alicia Wong. I hope I'm saying her name right. I like her writing. She did a pretty decent job on Iron Fist. She also did some Deadpool, but she's mainly known for her Star Wars work. But this is basically like ninja-based Psylocke. Like, she's gone for broke, and they say before she's gonna be doing the missions that even the X-Men don't do. So it's supposed to get a little rugged, a little gritty. I'm all down for that. And I'm a big fan of. I've always been a Psylocke fan, and I'm looking forward to it. The first issue comes out in November 13th, and the last bit of news is they announced is Laura Kinney, aka Wolverine. She's going to be in 2 books now. Now she's in Nyx, which I read the first issue. I did like it, and she's now getting her own. She's getting another solo series, and it's going to be written by Erica Schultz. So she's going to be writing it, and the writing, that's just the writer. I don't think the artwork is going to be done by Gaia Belvisto. I hope I'm saying the name right. So I'm looking forward to Laura Kinney Wolverine issue number 1. Basically, again, it's gonna basically showcase Laura being what she does best, and I'm all for that. So yeah, that's fun. That is real fun. I always liked Laura, and I love Tom Taylor's run with the character and everything like that. So yeah. And when you move on to from Marvel and DC, there's some great moves that came out of independent, and especially one of my favorite independent companies, Dynamite. Dynamite has really, they have a slew of new comics coming out since Dynamite and Warner Brothers are together. Warner Brothers have worked pretty much good together since Thundercats has been selling out real good. They announced that Ben 10, Captain Planet, the Herculoids, Thundar, and Dynamite and Blue Falcon, all getting titles, all getting series under Dynamite. Out of all of them, the ones I am really looking forward to is Thundar. Thundar has never had a comic, and I always wanted to know who would want to write it and how would you go about writing it. And the next one definitely is the Herculoids, because the Herculoids always been cool. Xandor and his family, and then of course you got Ukla, the rock ape, Gloop and Gleep, the they didn't make all that noise. They just and they stretch. Tundro, he's like a rhino that could like I guess shoot like these energy balls out of his horn, and Zoc the flying dragon, which is cool. I always liked Herculoids. You know, it was always fun to watch that show. So that's definitely Ben 10. I'm interested in because it makes me wonder where they're gonna go with it and what Ben 10 are they gonna use. Now on the images I've seen, it looks like they're going with the original Ben 10. I hope they do because that's one of my favorites. And Dynamite and Blue Falcon, that's going to be interesting because you're going to mix comedy and action together because of both of them. And I think they've also announced that in terms of Disney, DuckTales is coming over to them. So congratulations on that. Dynamite has brought is bringing the thunder as well. So I appreciate that. Yeah, man, that's great. That is all good news. It is a good time to be a comic reader, and I think also Gail Simone announced that she's going to be co-writing with Todd McFarlane for She Spawn, and that's going to be interesting as well. But outside of that, this was just great news to hear. All this news that I had to digest and then realize, okay, I want to talk about it. Let me just wait, and I did. And so here I am to talk about it. This looks fun. This looks great. You guys tell me in the comments below what do you think about all the comic news that they dropped during San Diego Comic-Con. I will see you guys next time for the big one that probably everybody and their mama want to know how I feel about it. All in good time, because I'm going to give it to you. But with that being said, you guys take care. This is Mount Vernon Kid, your Alpha, saying peace, one love, stay tuned, keep it real. Deuces.